Hi everyone, welcome to the Coach's Corner. I'm your host Scott Wagner. On today's show we're going to talk some softball. We have on Kelsey, Lorraine, and head softball coach Bob Allen. First on the show, of course, is Kelsey. Her team finished the season 33-14. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on. Now let's start with the conference tournament. Just wrapped up. You guys finished as the runners-up. Talk a little bit about your experience in the conference tournament.
This year was a lot different than last year because we made it a lot further. But it was one of the best experiences I've had, and definitely the best experience I've had at state. It was a lot of fun this year.
Now, it was your second time around. Last year, finished sixth in the tournament. This year, you make it all the way to the championship round. You win one game and then drop the last game, the say-all game against West Virginia Wesleyan. But how did that experience help you going from last year? A lot of returning players from last year to this year. How do you feel that helped you this year?
I think it gave our team a lot of confidence because we're a very young team. We're only graduating 2 seniors, and we haven't. A lot of us have not faced Wesleyan in our careers. Even the juniors from this year, that was the first time they've gotten to play against Wesleyan. So being able to beat them and shut them out that first game gave us a lot of confidence and let us know and everybody else in this conference know that we're a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, and you absolutely proved that. And you alone, 27 innings pitched on Championship Saturday as y'all had to play 4 games that day to advance to that say-all game at the end. What was that like pitching 27 innings, 4 consecutive ball games? That's got to take some wear and tear on your arm.
Yeah, it was difficult, but I somehow managed to get through it. I had to stay focused from the very first pitch in the first game on Saturday to the last pitch of the Wesleyan game. I just had to take a deep breath and get refocused and know that my team was going to pull through for me because they had the entire tournament, and that's what they did.
Yeah, and your performance on Saturday, that 27 innings, earned you the MVP honors. What was that like receiving that award?
It was cool. I didn't know that they did that, so when they called my name for that, that was a pretty neat experience because I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah, now talk about the conversation with Coach Allen going into Saturday. When did you know that you were going to be pitching every game?
Kind of Saturday morning. He just told me to get ready. A little bit Friday night, just get ready. Need you to be focused for tomorrow because you're going to be throwing a lot. So I knew kind of going into Saturday that I needed to get focused and figure out something to make it work to get through 4 full games. Yeah,
and as a pitcher, what can you do differently to make sure that your arm is ready, your legs, or whatever's necessary to make sure that you were able to keep your stamina up for all 4 of those games?
For me, it was making sure I was loose and stretched, and but also relaxed and didn't get tense, because the moment that I get tense or frustrated is when it would have all fallen apart. So I just had to stay relaxed, and that's what I did, and that's why I was able to get through all those innings.
Yeah. Now, when you go through all the when you go through the conference schedule that you played, you had to beat UC twice. What was that like playing at UC a couple of times? Coach Allen talked about that's almost like winning the championship when you beat them alone. That's how good it feels to beat them. So what was that like playing UC twice and having to win both of those games to move on?
I think it was good for us because we lost to them last year for 3 games, and we split with them during the season. So after we won the first game against them in the tournament, it gave us a lot of momentum into the rest of the tournament because we went extra innings and we pulled it out. And then beating them the second time in the tournament, we had our momentum, and we had to stay focused. And I think what helped us is we treated it just like a game instead of like they were our rivals, but it felt just as good to beat them.
Yeah, and how difficult is it to do that? Especially in softball when you never want to get your emotions too high or too low. How do you treat it as just another game? Some mental preparation?
For me, when I see the next batter come in the box, I just think of them as a batter, not somebody that I have to get out because they are just our rival, but just treat them as somebody else that's stepping into the box.
Now, another team that you saw quite a bit of this year was Shepherd. They took the first 3 games, including that third game being in the third round of the conference tournament, put you in the losers bracket, and then you were able to get revenge on Shepherd. What was that like for the team? I'm sure getting over the hump against Shepherd.
I think that was really good for us because we knew we could beat them. We only lost by 1 run during the season, and then during the tournament, we came back and we brought the tying run to the plate in the last inning. So we even knew during the third loss that we still could have beaten them. So I think going into the 4th game, it was just time for us to prove ourselves that we were going to beat them.
Yeah, and going into those games, as you drop that game to Shepherd and you drop to the losers bracket, that means you have to win, I think, 6 more games after that game or 5 more after that game in a row to win the championship. How does the mindset of your team change when you take your first loss in the tournament?
I think we kind of kept the same mentality that we had before. This tournament, our team, our girls were all focused on 1 game at a time instead of looking into the games before. And I think that's why we were able to get so far, because we didn't get wrapped up in the bracket and who we would play if we do this. We just focused on the team we had next, and that was the only game we had until we beat them or lost to them.
Yeah, and then this was certainly a case of a team that got stronger as the season went on. You yourself personally, of course, did that as well. And the players that were not injured for the tournament played extremely well and were playing their best ball in the tournament. How important is that to be peaking at that moment?
Well, going into the tournament, we want to be at our highest, and that's definitely what we were from our entire lineup. Everybody was hitting the ball well and getting on base, doing whatever they had to do to get people on base. And the biggest thing, I think, was we made plays at the tournament that we normally wouldn't make, the plays that we needed to make to win to get to that championship game.
Now, you threw 2 no-hitters in conference play this season. What's going through your mind while you're in the 4th inning or so and you got a no going? Are you thinking about it? Is it something that you have to shut off your brain, or is it just pitch by pitch?
If I realize that I have a no-hitter going, then I have to try to get that out of my head, because then either something will go wrong or I'd get unfocused, and that's the main thing, is I'm not focusing on that, what I need to do. So I have to refocus and do my job.
And another big story of this season, the pitching was obviously great, and the lineup was maybe one of the biggest strength on the team from top to bottom. Very solid lineup. What's that like as a pitcher to know when you can give up a couple of runs and still win ball games?
For me, that's the most amazing feeling, because I haven't been on very many teams where I could rely on my offense. I had to do it all myself and not let the other team score, because the offense wouldn't get it done. But this year, there was no holes in our lineup, and everybody was strong. And if somebody was having a bad day, the next person would pick their bat up and made it okay. And so, having that comfort was really good to have this year.
Yeah, we got a little less than a minute left. I just want to ask you about the coaching staff at West Virginia State and how they've helped you in your first 2 years here.
Well, all of our coaches play a great role. Our head coach, Bob Allen, he gives us a lot of confidence. He thinks the world of our team, and he gives us all the confidence that we need to go into the play. And Nip, he keeps our defense strong. Without him, we might be struggling, but with him, we got a very strong defense behind our pitchers. And then we have our conditioning coach, who is the reason we made it through that tournament. And Charlie Small did very well with calling pitches this year.
All right. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
You.
Congratulations on your accolades and the MVP award in the conference tournament. Thank you. No problem. We're going to take a break now. Sit tight. We will be right back with softball head coach Bob Allen after these messages.